Good morning, guys. So today you're going to take an evolution quiz, and I just want to go over a few things before you start it, and then I'll give you the link that you need to do your quiz. So the first thing I wanted to go over really fast is gene flow. So gene flow is the movement of genes. That's why it's called flow. It's moving from one population to another. So if we have a mountain range, but there's an opening, and deer on one side can go to the other side, they can pass through. They're migrating, they're moving, they're taking their genes and their information with them to this other population. So genes and traits are flowing. So that's gene flow. Just a reminder about natural selection. Again, that's you survive because you have the best trait for your environment. And so we can see here, there's green and brown beetles, and the brown ones are camouflaged. So the bird eats the green ones. So that's natural selection. Nature selects which traits are best. But remember that you are born with your adaptations. You are born with your traits. And you got your traits through meiosis. So when egg and sperm were created, they determined what traits you were going to get. So meiosis is the reason for that. And then you can also get different traits because of good mutations. So mutations can create new traits that were never around before, changes in DNA, but sometimes they're good. So maybe all beetles used to be green, but then there was a mutation and a beetle was born brown, and then so that was a better trait. Remember that being fit or having fitness means that you can reproduce and make babies. And that's good for evolution because you're ensuring that your traits don't die with you, right? Like they're going to continue on from generation to generation. So these good traits that help people, not just people, but like plants and animals survive in their environment are going to continue on and don't go extinct. So remember that fit means babies. So, or offspring is the technical word. So fitness means you have offspring, you have babies. And then last class, we learned about genetic drift, and that was different than natural selection. That's when you have changes in traits in an environment, not because they're the best, but due to some random luck, right? So it's usually due to some kind of rapid disaster that strikes. And like, for example, it could be a hurricane, it could be a tornado, an earthquake, a volcano, something dramatic occurs, and it doesn't matter that you're like blending in with your environment or whatever. If you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're not going to survive. And so we see that here. There's green and brown beetles. This guy just happens to be walking along and smashes some of them. Didn't matter if they were camouflaged or not. And so the ones that survive, the traits that we see in the end are due to random luck, random chance, and again, due to some kind of rapid, disastrous event. All right, so again, you're going to take your evolution test. There's a couple of questions on there. One we didn't go over, and another one is kind of worded weird, and I didn't like it. So you get the answers to those two questions, so make sure you mark this down. But number 2 is F, and number 8 is also F. So when you guys are taking the test, make sure you mark that down. For the rest of them, read the questions carefully, do your best. You guys have taken notes. You've submitted work on these things, so you should do well. And then even if it looks like something we haven't learned, read the question carefully, look for the key information because usually you can figure it out. To access the test, this is the link you're going to go to, tinyurl.com/evolutionrnt. And remember to get logged in, your username is it's like your lunch information, right? Your student ID number. And then your password though will be student. So if you forgot how to log in, that's how you do it. So username, your ID, password, student. Okay, so good luck, and I'll see you guys next class.